Hi, so you might be looking for a Valkyr build and are tired of Warframe content creators who are using clickbait titles like crazy, insane, broken, powerful, bajillion fulfilling damage. I regret to inform you, Valkyr unfortunately is not in a great space compared to other frames like Mesa or Nova or Saren who can just like kill enemies without even like glancing at them. But Valkyr, ironically, because she's not in a great spot, she has one build that I find has made her, oddly enough, one of the sharpest tools in my arsenal, ironically. So before I even get into the mods, first I want to highlight the Archon shards because whenever I am curious about a frame that I'm willing to invest Archon shards, I want to make sure I pick the right Archon shards just because it's a pain to pull them out. But I'm going for 3 purple Tau melee critical shards. Um, and then this 4th slot, I have it as armor. If you were more ambitious, I suppose you could put another purple in here, or maybe if you're an EDA and like there's a situation where like it's knife step syndrome where you just continually bleed health and also you can't use your operator to heal, maybe switch this out for like the regenerating HP blue shard. But I like the armor one for now, but I'll get into the details of why later. And then we have a parkour velocity. I'm just addicted to yellows. I just shove that onto any frame, just about, minus like maybe Gauss or Volt or Wisp because they're just already fast just from running. But this does apply to vertical movement too, so sometimes I'm tempted to put it on those frames anywho. But anywho, let's get into the mods. Again, highlight these purples. Purple melee. Melee is the theme with Valkyr. Like, she is the Berserker Warframe. She has been since release. One of her skills, arguably to me, her one useful skill. There is use with 4, and I know a lot of people are gonna get up in arms over the 3 I replaced, but I would say her signature useful skill is 2. Unfortunately, we actually can't devote too many resources into 2. It's just not worthwhile to go crazy on 2. It's a nice bonus to have. More armor, sure, why not? That's less important. We care more about abilities that, like, Valkyr is already inherently tanky. That is so much armor. Like, even if I take off the gladiator mods, I think it's still like 2,000. Um, but more of note is the speed buff to her melee. This is the only real damaging ability she has in her kit, aside from whipping out the claws. And I'm not really a big fan of the claws just because the animations feel like a little clunky and awkward sometimes. And I'm not a big fan of the escalating energy drain, just managing that. So I want to use this as like break glass in case of emergency sort of situation. Very sparingly. And granted it has lifesteal, but anywho, again, if the 2 is her core signature skill, we don't want to invest too much power strength into it because melee, all of them, they have a cap on their attack speed. Even if you buff it like a bajillion fulfilling percent, it's not gonna go any faster than like, I don't know what the exact ratio is because it depends on the melee weapon, it depends on its inherent melee speed, but eventually you're gonna reach a point where you cannot swing any faster than the frame rate you have. And just putting more into power strength to get more out of this will quickly give you diminishing returns. You're putting resources into a dead end. So try not to go too crazy on it. The only reason I even have power strength to begin with is because the Umbral set, Umbral Intensify, is incidentally a package deal with the Umbral Vitality and Fiber mods, which she greatly benefits from, being a mostly HP tank. So it's really more of a happy accident that she even has 70% power strength. It's just there to buff up the other survivability mods that she has. A funny aside, I feel like Warframe post 1999, and arguably a little bit before then, has kind of reached like Magic the Gathering levels of like balance, wherein like the mod's individual strength is less important. It's more how many other like word salad pieces does it have stapled onto it, and how much do those other engines interact with each other. So like the umbrals all interact with each other, the gladiators all add up with each other, and all incidentally armor, HP, and then this is like quick thinking, which kind of it works in conjunction with our primed flow, which we need for the more critical damage for the Tau shards, the purple Taus that we have, and these buff our critical chance. So literally with Valkyr, provided you're not running like, I don't know, a melee duplicate build where you don't want like orange or red crits, you just slap the gladiator mods onto Valkyr and give her any melee weapon, and she will just hit harder than any other warframe that's given a melee weapon. Chances are, like, short of maybe like, I don't know, I guess like a rhino that subsumed Nourish over their charge, and now they're roaring and nourished, and they're swinging with double buffs. You know, I guess you could put Nourish onto Valkyr too, but I kind of like Eclipse, at least for this full Gladiator set, to give her some damage, some DR, some damage reduction. If I'm going into EDA, I drop the Gladiator mod that gives her more health, because notice we only lose 100 HP. That's kind of whatever. We're losing a little bit of the crit chance, but we still have like a majority of it anyways, and we're not going to feel too much. I would like to have more if I'm in netracells where I feel safer, but in EDA things can go sideways a lot more quicker, so I wanted the extra damage reduction. And then aside from adaptation, which is kind of finicky on its own, like there's videos on like why it's a little inconsistent. I would look that up on your own time. By itself, it's not the end-all be-all, but it is nice to have in conjunction with Gladiator Finesse, because it's like quick thinking when paired with our flow, and because we have so much armor, a thing to note about quick thinking and Gladiator Finesse is that it does factor your armor into consideration when your energy is damaged by, like when you're at 1 and then you're taking energy damage. The armor helps reduce it, so it buys you a little bit more survivability, which is partly why I have the blue armor shard here. Last I checked, I could be wrong, but I don't really die too much with this Valkyr anywho, so yeah, I guess it works. I don't exactly go into level cap void cascades because it's just content I'm not interested in, but I rarely struggle with EDAs, so yeah, this usually works just fine for me. I don't like saying that because I feel like every other person I hear says that has no idea what they're talking about. Just because it works fine for you doesn't mean it's optimal. I am looking for something optimal, but as far as like squeezing out as much damage as possible out of Valkyr goes, the Gladiator mods is kind of all we can work with, short of like, I don't know, if you throw like Thermal Sunder on her and like make her a not gout, because like I know that's a thing where people just use Thermal Sunder to nuke low-level maps. But you're not really playing Valkyr if you do that. So if you want Valkyr to retain her identity, I would recommend like a loadout with like maybe Eclipse or a loadout with Roar. On the EDA version, because I'm running adaptation, I don't feel like I need Eclipse as well. I just trust in adaptation and the energy and the raw armor and my teammates as much as I probably shouldn't, to just make sure I don't go down. But yeah, no, having the Gladiator set, more critical chance on Valkyr is pretty much the only way to like really retain her identity and like kind of push her into endgame. I suppose we could go into a netracell. I kind of don't want to right now. I'm tired. But I usually average on like 9 or 10 minutes. The public match will usually take like, what, 11 or 15, depending on how much they're dragging their feet. If I'm with my friend that's bringing a speedva, we can maybe shave it down to like 7 or 6 if we're really quick. But yeah, no. Real quick, if I like pole arms, I don't know if I got into it for this video, but backtracking to the claws. Like, the claws, even if you max out the speed, the way they just stop and start, it's really clunky. So, like, as far as KPM is concerned, assuming damage is, like, lethal, having a polearm that just kills equally fast as the talons because the polearm again is buffed by all our gladiator mods. It's more just plain effective because polearms don't even stop, like they just continually keep swinging with their quick attacks. I have a couple gladiator mods to further boost the critical chance. My Riven is less important. It incidentally gives cold. I might remake this Zaw. I made this way back when Cetus was like hot and new. The arcane here is more combo chances to lean more into the gladiator mods. I feel like I could get a different like this, because the thing is with this Valkyr build, I don't like using her abilities unless something really bad is happening, like a rogue necromech is coming at you. So I use melee exposure as like, if I'm already using the abilities as like a break glass in case of emergency situation, this is like adding more damage onto those abilities for when I do need to use them. I like Tennokai on the polearms because they hit really fast. Like, I like to just quick melee. I don't like the heavy spam because it's a start and stop motion, whereas the quick melee keeps going. But if I do get a Tennokai attack, it just fucking wipes out the whole room. For melee and secondary, I'm just using primer weapons. If you don't know what a primer is, look that up. But for the Kuva Ogress, highly recommend magnetic or radiation. Now that we have a dual stat magnetic mod post 1999. Although with the magnetic one, I believe it gives you more magazine capacity instead of reload speed. I personally like reload speed more. But incidentally, this Riven I have gives me more magazine capacity, so my sticking with inherited magnetic with the radiation mod works better for me at the moment. If I had a Riven that was like multi-shot and reload speed, I think I would like to make this radiation inherent and then magnetic modded, because magnetic is largely more useful than radiation because it's a 2-for-1 stat, because when magnetic pops it turns into lightning, and then Nightwatch Napalm forces fire despite elements modded onto the weapon, and then these are our two dual stats which we just need for more status, and then we need multi-shot. This makes us run faster, this gives us more coverage of the primer, gives us more ammo for the Ogress because it's a launcher. The buffing crit chance or crit damage is whatever for Ogress purposes, but hey, if you do get a kill, that means more multi-shot, that means more priming. So, also of note, if you like to run viral, just swap these elements out for the appropriate combination. I'd like to run corrosive over viral because everybody runs viral. Heck, even my cat runs viral. Like, I don't like building for viral because like there's just so many sources of it already in game. Everyone's subsuming nourish onto their frames, or maybe they also have a cat that is also giving viral quills. So it's just like it's overkill at the end of the day.
What'll it be?
I guess we'll go into a netracell just to give off a little brief demonstration. I would get into the tome, but it is also just status. I brought the mods that give you more energy and spawn like a universal orb. Just because having more energy on Valkyr keeps the purples more happily fed so that you can do more damage, and having more energy also just gives you more wiggle room in case you lose HP. You shouldn't, but in case it happens.
The netracell is deep in this lab maze. Get control of a few terminals, that'll help you zero in on it.
Side note, I cannot sing enough praise for the one pistol mod that gives you multi-shot, amalgam something or other that gives you more roll speed, because that combined with the yellow hardcore just rockets you forward like it's faster than bullet jumping. Remember when bullet jumping used to be the fastest way to get around? Nah, it's all about the rolls now. Although it is a little disorienting when you're playing as Mirage. Because just her rolls are faster and not her whole parkour speed for some reason. Niche grappling use. Try not to use it too frequently, because if you use it on the enemy by accident, the hitbox is kind of surprising. It just sucks to lose momentum. Pulling an enemy towards you that you're not even gonna fight, and you're not even doing all that much damage towards.
Using the key glyphs will open the netracell.
Side note,
so be ready.
I meant to go into more detail over why I dislike her natural breathe when you don't subsume over it. That, like, a lot of newbies will mistakenly say, like, oh no, it's useful, it lets me assassinate high priority targets all the time. And the reason for that is just, frankly, because your damage is lacking. Like, if you need to stop to finish something, that tells me your melee is just doing enough damage to spend already. You shouldn't need to stop and use a finisher on something, because if you're going to do that every couple of hours, you are slowing your KPM down. And warframe is ultimately like a horde shooter, just a horde. Like one giant horde. So yeah, it's just not. Just lowers your KPM, even if it did work. And it doesn't usually work in high level anyways, because a lot of estimates are just straight up immune to your powers. So it's like, and then even if they weren't, a lot of times it opens them up to a melee finisher, not a paradox finisher, a melee finisher. So it doesn't even like guarantee the kill.
Damn necromites are reinforcing the netracell.
So
your hands are tied.
I just can't understand like, and then also it spends your shield. So you, granted she does not have many shields to shield gate with. You are sacrificing your shield gate to do what? Like dropping on an enemy? Like wow. Okay, nothing that nearby, so I'll just put powers on. Using this to just like activate the corrosive that I have.
Keep thinning them
That goes down. He's still around.
Necromites are slowing us down. Find them, smash them.
Another reason why I love the Ogress. Just aim in the general direction and things disappear. Oh, just a casual 11 million. 3 million. No, I wasted my combo! It's fine. Side note, one thing I like about my Kuva Ogre's Riven with the one extra bullet is 1, 2, 3, 4. Granted, there is not even much worthwhile in them besides affinity and just affinity. Maybe necrocoils, but hey, it's a nice little, feels good little victory lap thing to do.
If you're happy,
Do I care about whatever 600 meters out? No, I want to see what the... Might be an arcane, but whatever, I just want to get out of here. Just demonstrate. Alright, what's the mission time? Come on. 7 minutes. Not bad. Okay. But yeah, no. Granted, I went down. Not an ideal run. But hey. That's what you get with Valkyr. If you wanted to be safer, again, you could throw an adaptation, but I traded that in for more crit chance with another gladiator mod. And I trusted my operator to just get me back up. That could have been bad. That could have went bad. But hey, even if you do lose, what, 5 minutes of your time? Oh well. It's the price you pay. It's the risk when you want to go that fast. You have to shave off some survivability if you want to eke out just a tiny bit more damage. But yeah, anywho, I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching. I hope... side note, I would like to mention too, this way of modding and using melee arcane shards, like, if there's just a frame you straight up don't like, whose kit just disagrees with you on some visceral level for some reason, or even like, so Baruuk, I don't like his kit because a lot of it's just CC, minus his 4 rules. But so I similarly just put a lot of the gladiator mods on him. I put all of them actually, and adaptation, and then also he's got DR. I don't want to turn this into like non-Valkyr, but just to like highlight the way I modded my Valkyr and sharded her up is a train of thought you can take for a lot of other frames, where if you don't care about their kit, literally just shove some melee arcanes onto them and the gladiator mods, and that will put their DPS relatively further past like most conventional setups than your average other player. I would not recommend it on like gun platforms like Harrow, or like, let's say you're even playing Revenant and you subsumed Nourish onto him, like you're just running him as a weapons platform. I'm kind of reluctant to put the melees onto him, just because like he can play with gunplay. Same thing for like Rhino, because Roar is just universally useful. I don't want to pigeonhole him into melee, but for like, you know, Baruuk, he's melee oriented with his fists, so I gave him melee shards. Garuda, what did I think I just... I didn't give her melee shards, I just gave her corrosive. But I think I gave her the gladiator mods, yeah, just in case. So I gave her a gladiator set and then a gun set. The gun set is just the vigilante set. It's unfortunately not as... Wait, did I not even give her... Oh, she's keeping the gladiator finesse with quick thinking because she's right, this weird build. I'll maybe make a build video on that later. But yeah, no. Again, if there's a frame you don't like, whose abilities you don't care for, you can just shove the gladiator mods onto them. Korra, I like her. I like her abilities. Yeah, I don't even have gladiator on her. Okay. Who's another example besides... Oh, Koumei, actually, because Koumei is, where is she? Where's my girl? My little gambling girl. So, because her 1 is garbage, like, if you watch the Kengineer video, speaking of, I love Kengineer. I love how very into detail-oriented he gets with his videos. Yeah, no, just refer to this video on Koumei. Her 1, kind of not great. 4 is solid, but because this is her only actually damaging ability, and because her 2 is like, you just cast it once and do, like, there's no other requirements for it. So really all you care about is her strength. And granted, we have the Archons for all her random status bullshit that's just inherent to her passive. Yeah, no, if when Koumei Prime comes out, I will probably just shove. I don't know about melee shards onto her, but I'll probably make like a gladiator set as well for her. Yeah, here it is. I knew a part of me would want that for her. It's gonna suck because like I remember in the Brozime video, kind of sucks how like let's say you're aiming for melee and then you just get gun buffs, or then you're playing with guns and then you just get melee buffs. That kind of feels bad, but I mean there's not much else going on with her kit, so eh. Ash is another one I think that like, because it's really just his 2 and his 4. His 1 can armor strip, but I might be misremembering the exact. Let's see. Smoke screen, teleport. Yeah, teleport's kind of whatever. Oh yeah, we don't really bother with gladiators because he kind of has like his. Well, he's got gladiator resolve here. But yeah, no, this video is going on longer than I hoped. I don't want to approach a half hour, so thank you for tuning in. I hope this was helpful. I hope this I hope this is not. I hope this ages well. Given how drastically frames get updated sometimes, and how sometimes there's like game-changing arcanes and so on, and mods and so forth. So, anywho, thank you for tuning in. I hope this helps your Valkyr, and I hope this helps any other melee-minded frames. Alright, good night.